Hey everyone, so I wanted to make a video to talk a little bit about Haru Urara. I know most of you probably tried training Haru Urara, and you probably noticed that she just can't win when she gets to the Arima Kinen. Like every single time she gets 16th place, and you can't do anything about it, and you just have to watch her cry at the end. And just because of that, last month I went into the JP side and even just looked at her stats and aptitudes to try to figure out why this is happening because I was very confused. And I figured out that it's not impossible to make her win. She doesn't need to lose every single time, just like her IRL self. And with the right adjustments and optimizations, she can definitely win. And let me tell you the problem of why she has such a hard time winning. That's because Arima Kinen is a 2,500-meter long race. It's a turf race as well. And Haru Urara starts with G in turf, and she also has a G in long, which is probably the worst possible combination ever. And in Umamusume, your aptitudes matter a lot more than the game tells you. I know a lot of people just glance at the aptitudes and don't really look into it, but at least for Haru Urara, for Arima Kinen, like this is such a disaster because let me show you this document that I found on Reddit. So if you look here, it says if a stat is at G, you lose 90%. So if she has a G in turf, that means she loses 90% of her power in a turf race. And also for distance, if she has a G in long, that means she loses her stamina quite fast, which is why she always gets 16th place. Because turf aptitude affects power, which affects her acceleration, and distance aptitude affects speed. And at G rank, it just does not work at all. And to win, you need to raise these G's into at least a D, or ideally or like a C or B. But that depends on how much stats you have on your Haru Urara. Because if you have really low stats, then you probably need a higher aptitude rank. Because if you have really high stats at like A rank or something, and if you get like a D in both of these, you'll only lose 30% and you can still win. But if you have like really low stats by Arima Kinen, like 400, 500, and you lose you lose 50% of it, then it's not gonna work. So that also matters a little bit. But to raise these aptitudes, what you gotta do is get it through inheritance. So you want to build or even borrow strong legacies, aka the parents, and that have strong 3-star sparks in long distance and turf. And for every 3-star spark you will get, you will increase all these stats by 1 rank. So you'll need to get at least 3-star sparks in each to go from G to D in the beginning. And there's also a chance to increase them even more during inspiration events, but that mostly depends on luck. The hard part here is this takes a lot of luck and multiple breeding runs, since Haru Urara's compatibility is a bit tricky. Of course, once you get these aptitudes raised, she can finally start competing, and Arima Kinen itself is a long race, so she needs a good amount of stamina. And she already does have like a unique skill that gives her stamina, but she's gonna need even more skills on top of that to help her out. And she also needs a good amount of stamina in her stats itself, because just the skills are not gonna be enough, since the race is really long. So I know I made a short like before about the stats you need for Haru Urara, but if you want to win the Arima Kinen with her, you might need to change it a little bit. Keep most of the stats the same as I said before, like speed 800 plus and power 800 and guts and weight maybe around 250. But for stamina, instead of being 500 plus, it needs to be at least 600 or more so that she has a good chance of lasting long in the race. And also, Haru Urara works best as a late surger, so keep her in that role because this style saves energy for her and syncs with her unique skill, which will help her in the race. I mean, I know it's not easy because it's gonna take a while. Like it at least took me like 8 turns to about to win the Arima Kinen, but I know most players take at least 5 to 10 full attempts to pull this off. So if you keep training her and build her right, it's definitely possible to see her win the Arima Kinen and even see her cheering afterwards, which is really worth it. But this is just a short video talking about why she can't win and what's the problem behind it, and maybe like a small solution. There are like if you want to raise her ranks in the aptitude, just try to find characters that have at least like a good rank in these, so that you can inherit them. And you can usually, if you don't have like a one character, you can usually just go to your friends list and try to find somebody who does, or even go to like Reddit or any other website where people give out their IDs so you can friend them and get their character to use. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this little guide, I guess, please leave a like and subscribe, and also leave a comment if you manage to win the Arima Kinen with Haru Urara. And I guess good luck. See ya.